Adoatv, bringing good things to life. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Everywhere, and to whoever is watching us this morning, it's Monday, a very beautiful Monday morning at that, the 20th. Yes, we just have some very few days to Christmas. It's the countdown to Christmas, and we are also doing our countdown here. Remember that Christmas is about giving. God gave his only begotten son for you and for me. And that is the reason why we celebrate Christmas. It is the reason for the season, giving. A son was given for you and for me for salvation. And so the best way to characterize Christmas is to give. Give from your heart. Give out of your little. Give out of your time. Give out of your energy. Give out of your surplus. Yes. Give out also of your plenty. Make sure that you cause someone to smile by the time Christmas is over and by the time this year is over. It really isn't about the very big and grand gifts. It's about what is coming from your heart. It could be a simple word. It could be a simple text message. It could be just to call and say hello to someone. You could brighten up their day, brighten up the corner, the lives of people who are around you. If there is nothing that anyone knows you for, let them know you that in 2021 Christmas, you did something special. You did put a smile on their faces. People are hurting. People are hurting, but we have some plastic, some made up faces all around you. Don't be deceived by the smile that somebody has on their face and think that all is well with them. And don't be deceived by what people have to think that all is well with them. Go your way to say something nice, to do something special for someone this Christmas. And it will bring a blessing to you yourself. You will feel inner satisfaction and joy as well. So from me to you, it is make Christmas special, because Christmas is a special season. So my name is Julia. I'm coming to you, of course, from Adoatv, where we bring good things to life. It is the AM Ghana show. Good morning to you all. Grab your cup. Maybe you want to do it different this time. Maybe Milo, maybe something nice. Make it a nice beverage, and we will be right back after this break to bring you the newspaper headlines. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
CB makeups now. I'm a go correct. Why your best mankasa? That's it. Who anyone? Oh, middle. You captures about one CB makeups. Ah, you right here. Me see CB makeups and I make a year. Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You name the dada. And 1 year packaging I had the wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any biansan wako do ben pegi. She painful. Any about town woman kwada no for. Any kwada won di fie du ye. Enka ho. Susanna. Ghana man man tamase.
Adoatv 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA adi edwedin kato yato.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Come back after that short break. I hope you have gotten yourself ready, prepared for us to go through the newspaper headlines. Remember that we will have some discussions of these headlines, especially the ones that are salient and hit to the core right after the newspaper headlines. So don't go anywhere. There always is more. Keep your dial, your channel, wherever. If it's Facebook you're watching us, make sure you are not going anywhere. You stick with us throughout, okay? Well, I'm starting with a daily graphic, usual. Yes, it's truth and accuracy every day. That's their mantra. And the screaming headline I see here is decisive step key. Decisive step key to winning 2024 polls. President tells NPP delegates decisive step key to winning 2024 polls. Coming from Kumasi, yes, if you had stayed with them during their conference, the delegates conference yesterday, you would have heard this. So President Nana Addo Dankwa Ekufo, yesterday I heard the Malawian man saying Edu Nana Edu. President Nana Addo Dankwa Ekufo-Addo has said the new patriotic party NPP will need to take decisive steps forward to win the 2024 general election, while expressing his desire to hand over power to an NPP government in 2025. The president, however, indicated that internal party actions leading to the next elections would actualize that dream or not. Addressing the National Delegates Conference of the NPP in Kumasi yesterday, he said, every step taken now leading to the 2024 elections is going to be decisive, either to give us victory or not. So there is more on this story. It's continued on page 3, and we have a picture of the president in white shirt with some dots, multicolored dots, of course, there. I like these glasses. I think it fits well on the president. So continuing the e-levy policy, on the e-levy policy, industry players step in to support burden sharing. Industry players step in to support burden sharing. What exactly that has for us is on page 16, and I want to read a little on that. Two industry operators have come up with interventions to help reduce the overall impact of the proposed taxes, particularly the electronic levy, that is the e-levy, by the government in the 2022 budget, and likely to be implemented next year following the approval of the appropriations bill by Parliament last Friday. The decision to come up with the interventions followed extensive deliberations between the two industries and the government on the need to lessen the impact on consumers. The industries are the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, that's GCT, and its mobile money operators, and the Ghana Association of Bankers, GAB. So what exactly are these interventions? So while some companies under the GCT, that is the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, namely Mobile Telecommunications Network, that name is almost getting lost from our memories. That's MTN, because we've swapped it with what we want. And Airtel Tigo have both agreed to a downward revision of their person-to-person transfer, that's P2P, fees by up to 25%, depending on their respective operator. Another member, that's Vodafone, already has no charges on its mobile money operators. So these are some of the interventions. There's more to that story. We have pictures of Dr. Ken Ashigbe, Dr. Ken Oforiata, Mr. Ken Oforiata, the finance minister, and Mr. John Ewia, the chief executive officer of the GAB, right there. Digitalize NHIS claims fully. Okay, so there's a report on that as well on the same page, page 16, and Dr. Danso bags 15 awards. Hey, not 5, 15 awards at UCC congregation, and that's on pages 24 and 41, and a picture of Dr. Edward Akosa Danso right there. So moving into the inner pages there, I'm going first to page 5, where I take a look inside Africa. South Africa to donate J&J vaccine. So that's Johnson & Johnson. And I know a lot of Ghanaians have been looking for, well, those I speak with would rather prefer the J&J. I don't know why, but South Africa to donate J&J vaccines. South Africa will donate just over 2 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine to other African countries to boost the continent's COVID-19 vaccine drive, the government announced on Friday. Okay, so you can take a deeper look at this story. It's on page 5. And again, inside Africa, thousands protest Sudanese coup. Yes, there is a coup, where we have a picture of the Sudanese military leader, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, right there. Global outlook. Let's go global. Man lynched for sacrilege at Sikh temple in India. Yes, he's been lynched because of what was termed as sacrilege at a particular temple. I mentioned earlier, Sikh temple. Islamic world unites to aid desperately poor Afghanistan. So there are classes of poor. Poor, and now I'm seeing desperately poor. She said, Ohiamu Ohia, Afghanistan. And the Islamic world countries that have been named or identify themselves as Islamic countries have come together to help their own Afghanistan. Hong Kong votes in legislative elections. Hong Kong votes in legislative elections, and thousands of Santas stage Madrid charity run. If I were there, I'm sure I would have been a Santa, of course, Mama Santa. And more. Advocates for Christ advocating disobedience. Advocates for Christ advocating, and that's a letter. Well, it's on page 10. You will want to read on that, on gender issues, prosecute sexual violence perpetrators, Canadian High Commission says, and young women urged to take up leadership role. I'm here, I'm coming. I'm going to do mine very soon. So I hope you all rally behind me when I do. Speakers call for unity, talking about the NPP delegates conference. We have a picture of Freddie Blay, the national chairman of the NPP. He spoke a lot about coming together, uniting NPP. Excitement, fanfare, mark NPP conference, and make your demands devoid of insults. I listened to that as well. Domahini advises demonstrators, telling the youth, you should go ahead and speak your mind, but let it be devoid of insults. Compulsory vaccination. What does the law say? And that's on the middle spread, pages 32 and 33. So you want to read on that. You want to read on that. You do. And I'm jumping to sports. Let's see what sports has for us. Ghana pip Zambia to progress to the next round. I'm talking about Ghana's Black Princesses progressed to the final stage of the 2022 FIFA Women's Under-20 World Cup qualifiers after they beat the young Copper Queens of Zambia 1-0 at the Cape Coast Stadium last Saturday. So there are some pictures there for you, yeah. And on the back page, Etoga's Brace wins day for Kotoko. Etoga's Brace wins day for Kotoko. So that's a win for Kotoko. And Adriana beats Chelsea to maintain top spot. We have we have the table there. And then we have the scoreboard also there. Adriana Stars beating 3-2. They beat Chelsea by 3 goals to 2. Legon Cities also were beaten by Asante Kotoko by 2 goals to 1. They lost by, and there's more. House of Oak winning against the Lions by 2 goals to 0. And that will be a wrap up for the daily graphic. So straight up, let me do the daily statesman. Akufo-Addo cautions NPP. Akufo-Addo cautions NPP. He says internal contest should not hinder victory in 2024. And that particular story is on page 2. Yeah. And BOG, that's the Bank of Ghana, refers 20 companies to AG for prosecution. Hey. And it's on page 8. Let's take a peek at that. Page 8. All right. BOG refers 20 companies to AG for prosecution. The Bank of Ghana says it has referred some 20 microfinance and savings and loans companies to the Attorney General for possible prosecution. This comes after the central bank cited a number of potentially criminal actions on the part of these institutions and their shareholders, directors, or management, as the case may be, in its public notices in 2019, announcing the revocation of licenses of certain defunct savings and loans companies, finance houses, and microfinance institutions. These cases were brought to the Economic and Organized Crime Office, YOCO, for advice after the receivers appointed by BOG conducted additional investigations into the failure of these organizations. Okay, all right. So our records, back to the front page, our records are unparalleled. That is by the VIP, Dr. Baumia. That is also on page 2. And you want to know what records he's talking about, it's on page 2 of the Daily Statesman. I'm jumping straight to the back page, of course. You know the Daily Statesman, they always have boxing at their hearts when it comes to sports. So Derek Chirosa and Joseph Parker, the second New Zealander, beats Brighton on points in Manchester. So Joseph Parker, he won. He has now won 30 of the 32 professional fights, while Derek Chisora suffered the 12th loss of his career. Talking about 2 to 12. Yes, I'm talking about the ratio to do with losses. So that's like 1 to 6, right? Okay. So leaders Man City extend winning run to 8 with convincing successes at Newcastle. Leaders Man City, they extend. So we have a picture there. Ruben Diaz has scored twice this season, with both goals coming in December. I guess December has a lot of fortune for him there. He has also scored in Manchester City's 2-1 win at Aston Villa on the 1st of December. So that will be a wrap for the Daily Statesman. And I want to do, okay, let me do the Ghanaian Times, the most authoritative newspaper. It does have a picture of our president there, and I love these glasses, I have to say. President Akufo-Addo at the NPP 2021 National Delegates Confab, discipline will win the 2024 elections for NPP. And there's more on that on page 16, of course. But on page 3, 5 alleged armed robbers lynched at Nina Wusu. I got it correct. Don't worry, it's correct. 12,780 expired COVID-19 vaccines destroyed in Volta region. So if we are using all our money to get, or we are advocating to get these vaccines, and you are not going for your shots on time and they expire, you are causing waste and financial loss to the country for those that we bought. Yes, you are. So please, Health Directorate blames low jab patronage. Yes, so please, Ghanaians, go for your jab. I said, if you know me, I don't know, but the number one thing I'm scared of, well, besides snakes, is the jab. I'm always afraid of injections. I run away from injections. So on the day, I remember 13th of November, I was almost running when they grabbed hold of me, placed me on the seat. When I see the needle, I ran. But I'm telling you, it is not as painful as it looks on TV. So I know, Patty, all the excuses you are giving is just because of the fear of the needle. And now, after looking and after watching a lot of people go for their vaccine, I'm confident, and I stand upon this to say I know that a lot of people are afraid of needles. Don't be afraid to say it. Patty, you are afraid of the needle. Go for the vaccine. It is not as horrible as it looks. Trust me. It is not as painful as it looks. Go for it. Embrace Act 1036 for efficient land administration is coming from the Honorable Abu Jinapo. Yeah. his picture is right there. That story is on page 10. And I had some of the issues, some of the acts surround concerning land, and I also heard what the Otumfor had to say on that. I believe this will capture some of our issues concerning land, and it's there on page 10. 4 killed in haulage train head-on collision in Wassa, Manso. Yesterday I read it was 5 killed, and I also read it as Manso Wassa. So forgive my mistake there, Wassa Manso, and that story is on page 3. How that could have happened, I tried in my head. I deliberated, I tossed, I flipped, I did whatever. How there could be a head-on collision, I don't know. We'll see what updates come later on this particular story, but I'll jump into it. And 2 granted bail after allegedly defrauding a butcher of 67,000 Ghana cedis. Hey, and for the butcher to have anyway, the butcher has that money. He's a very well-to-do butcher, but they've been granted bail, and that story is on page 3. The story about the haulage, 4 killed in haulage train head-on collision is also there. We see some remains. Yes, the wrecked train. I see a lot of wheels there. All right, and 5 alleged armed robbers also is there. In African news, security forces fire tear gas at school protesters in Khartoum. Jacob Zuma, his picture is here. He looks rather sad, worried, concerned. Courts to hear Zuma's plea to appeal parole ruling Tuesday. And EU alarm at Russian mercenaries in Central Africa. Rescuers find carnage after Philippines typhoon. And that is on page 6. Jumping through. Okay, in politics in Ghana, minority. It says there are consequences for non-disbursement of common fund, and that's coming from Nilante Vanderpoy. UER launches Stay Alive campaign in Bolga. Stay Alive campaign. Government to pursue e-learning teaching at all levels of education. In Team Fojo had that to say, and we have in the middle spread of pages 16 and 17. Yes, more coming from the national delegates confirm. Ama Benyua Do laid to rest in Gomoa Abora. So condolences definitely goes to the family. Vim Transport Union banned from operating at Shiashi after clash with police. Hey, okay. Anyway, let's go and do some sports. Adriana triumph in Bono Derby, and Kotoko Labour to beat Legon Cities. It's there. Whether it was a Labour, whether it was an easy win, it is a win. It is a win. They have done their best. In foreign sports, Murray beaten by Rob Levin. Hey, Mubadala final. Hey, Mubadala final. Murray has been beaten. But I do follow tennis, and I love tennis. I support Roger Federer anyway. Nadal is also there, but we'll see. Martinelli double powers Arsenal on. Will that be effective for Arsenal? We hope. For all lovers of Arsenal, including myself, Gunners, we have to rise from the ashes we find ourselves in. Techi grabs Swag Sports Personality of the Year award. Embrace concept of digitalization. Dr. Baumia tells sports administrators, and it's there on page 31. But the last page, that's the back page, Kotoko. Oh, I've read that already. Kotoko win. So congratulations to Kotoko on that win against Legon Cities. Yeah. And I'll do my last but one paper, the new crusading guide. Upper Amenfi Rural Bank refutes fraud allegations, and that is on page 10. Complaints to petition IGP, complainants, to petition IGP over frustrations from police prosecutor. And I have to say this, IGP, when it comes to the MTTU, I don't know what we are doing about, but this Christmas, those people are rich. They are very rich. I don't know if it is a collab they do now, but they are rich. Trust me, I'm talking about those MTTU officers who are around, how do you call it, UTC, that area. UTC, just in front of Kant. You know, those that man or take care of that area, they are rich, if you understand what I mean. We really have to deal with those people. What they are doing there is illegal, and it is in no way right. It is in no way right. And as one trotro driver said on Friday, who speaks for us? There's nothing we can do. We just have to pay them. Let me say this, he virtually threw a license, someone's driver's license, at the driver because he picked up someone in traffic. Well, you can say it is wrong, but I don't know how to describe the act of this MTTU officer. He threw, instead of just telling the driver, you've done wrong, he went to the driver, that is on the passenger side, just threw someone's driver's license at him. And I asked the driver, what is that? And he said, that is somebody's driver's license. And he showed it to me. Someone's driver's license in that holder, that blue plastic holder. And I said, why did he give it to you? And he said, because it's in a holder. I'm supposed to stick money in between there for him. And I was like, what? That is what your MTTU officers are doing. That is how they plan to spend Christmas. If it is just for Christmas, I don't know. If it's supposed to go beyond Christmas, I don't know. But this is what I saw, I witnessed, I experienced on Friday in the morning around 11. Yes, just around that place. That is what they are doing. I don't know what you can do to stop them, and I don't know how long this has been going on, but it is about time. Let's put, and if you ask us to have respect for the police, how can you have respect for the police when they are doing this? If someone has been caught doing something wrong, what is the measure? What are we doing to? I think I rest my case there. Let's leave it at that. Well, bitterness against, just like my bitterness this morning, bitterness against Ken Ofori Atta over banking cleanup needless. That's coming from Razak Kojo. He's saying that bitterness is needless. And he's talking to the detractors. That story is on page, is that for page 3? And the page 3 and 10 is going across. So I don't know whether it is for Razak's case or it is for this one I'm about to read. Boycott expensive and insensitive OMCs. Okay. I'll try and get that story. I'll read it later. I don't know where exactly, whether page 3 or 10. So I'll take it later. But again, on the front page, the screaming headline here, whoever succeeds me will be next president. Akufo-Addo assures the party. That's a lot of confidence, and you should see the smile with which that comes. That's why you need to grab the new crusading guide. Okay, so the boycott is on page 3. Insensitive OMCs. The executive director of INSTEP, Kojo N. Poku, all right, has urged fuel users to boycott the expensive, insensitive oil marketing companies, that's the OMCs, and buy from the cheaper priced OMCs. According to him, the cheaper priced OMCs are companies that are selling fuel around 6.35. That is 6.35, 6 cedis 35 pesos to 6 cedis 50 pesos. So that is his advice, and there's more on that on page 3. Okay. Let's do more, a little more. Let's go see if there's any on sports. All right. GP on the GPL, RTU holds Kotoko to a draw in Kumasi. Okay. And Ghana on track to host Best African Games. Mustafa Yusuf had that to say. And Sterling on incredible achievement of joining Premier League 100 club. Okay. All right. So that will be it, I guess, for the new, yes, that will be it for the new crusading guide. And the last, but definitely not the least, the Chronicle, the Mkundo with Sizwe, Spear of the Nation and the True Independence, has this for us: approval of e-levy. All die be died today. Majority ready for real showdown with minority who appear to have ignored Otumfo's wise counsel. I don't know. I think this is very, very, very one-sided. So I'm leaving that alone. But Haruna Idrisu, the minority leader, we have his picture there. Also of the majority leader, Osei Chairman Sabonsu there. And the picture of Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbane, the Speaker of Parliament. Alan cashes in on NPP confab. And he's there. Akufo-Addo to NPP. Our conduct will determine our fate in 2024. Biram DC ordered to slaughter 37 sheep to pacify chiefs. Not the gods, so to pacify the chiefs. 37 sheep must be slaughtered to pacify the chiefs. Whatever that is supposed to solve. I didn't know forgiveness had to come with these. So those who have offended me and are offending me nowadays, I'm going to go by this method. So party, be careful. Jonah, be careful. Sheep on the way. All die today is captured on page 3 as well for in-depth story, for in-depth knowledge of that particular story is here on page 3. And Alan Cash also cashes in is on page 2. Carve honors 39 dedicated staff in Thanksgiving. Moses Siao Frimpong grabs overall best worker. US-based lecturer gives back to alma mater. Okay. All right. I'm leaving that alone. In Nigeria, let's look at what's happening in Nigeria. Police arrest woman for allegedly starving 5-month-old baby to death. Man attacks bishop, Oyedepo while preaching on pulpit. And Nigeria's COVID-19 cases rise with 828 new infections. And couples sell baby. Oh my goodness, it's like it's only bad news. So I'm not reading the last bad news coming from Nigeria. The ECG directs consumers in Krobo Enclave to pay accumulated debts. Please pay up. You've used it. Please pay up. Today I'm on the side of ECG so that the doomsaw will transfer. Yes. CSIR develops soil fertility technology to boost maize production. But what about boosting interest? That is another issue for another day. Okay. So let's see what sports news I have not done. Man City I have done. COVID hits Chelsea, held by Wolves. So, that is there. Martinelli have done that. Barcelona score late to edge LG, and German team walk off the pitch after player Aaron Opoku is racially abused. Wow, that's nice. German team walk off the pitch after their player Aaron Opoku is racially abused. That's nice. And I think that'll be it. There's more from local sports at the back. 11 Wonders fight back to beat Gold Stars is there. Impressive RTU defeat Elmina Sharks at Tamale is also there. Adriana and Chelsea in a 5-goal derby. Trailer is there. Kotokos Mbella scores brace to shoot down Legon Cities. And Wafa Super Sub Samsung Japan sings Midiema in Segakope. It's also there. And there is more scores at a glance down there. So that is it for the newspaper headlines. But of course, to wrap it all up, Proverbs 22:8 says, whoever sows injustice will reap calamity, and the rod of his fury will fail. I'll take it again. Whoever sows injustice will reap calamity, and the rod of his theory will fail. Amen to that. We'll be right back with more. Don't go anywhere.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing desk at the work premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
CB will make up now. I'm a go correct. What's your best mancasa? That's it. You want oh, middle. You captures back on CB men capsules. Missy CB men capsules in America. Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You name the data and 1 year packaging. Wow, what a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any bianza wako do pegi. Share a painful any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada go di fie do ye. Enka ho. Susanna. Ghana man be man tamase.
Adoatv 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA aje edwedin kato yato.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with Rwandair today. Rwandair, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
Water, but you're not getting on and that's all about order. The rock you are fire.
Malaria and tea. But you are yet more bono.
What you have to keep it.
Malaria, therefore, yow. Enti awo. I shouldn't the customers. Well, when you say, Mammy, I am smart. I perceive Malakio. I'm money buyer or the eco school. Share. Say a Janisi berry market any malaria and tea. I want to mean.
And now Emma will be around to walk. So we have malaria test. Maybe one. And better one. And the CB Malakio. You didn't know. And now I can't bomb as soon as I CB Malakio. And no way so dear. And I know grow. I yet tata shit.
A drawing near my appeal for about a woman for any quada won't in fear.
Susanna, what would you with
FD Ashusha sa a jedi and crato you mu aja to Musa and
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with Rwandair today. Rwandair, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing desk at Step Work premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with Rwandair today. Rwandair, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
CB will make up now. I'm not correct. What's your best mankasa? That's it. Who anyone? Oh, middle. You captures about one CB men capsules. Missy CB men capsules and America. Yeah, you CB men and women's capsules. Now, you knew the dada. And 1 year packaging I had the. Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any biansan wako do ben pegi. Share a painful any about town man kwada no fo. Any kwada o go di fie du ye. En ka ho. Susanna. Ghana man be man tamase.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA adi edwedin kato yato.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing desk at Step Work premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Felix cannot dance. Felix cannot dance. Felix cannot dance. But oh yeah, then Quran is on your beto. Felix cannot dance. Felix cannot dance. Felix cannot dance. But oh yeah. Washete, Wabotai, Felix Wabotai, Washishu, Felix Washishu, but Oyede, Grand inside your betu. Washeche, Felix Washeche, Wabotai, Felix Wabotai, Washishu, Felix Washishu, but Oyede, Grand inside your betu. Siriba. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. After 2 years, get on the dance floor. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. After 2 years, get on the dance floor. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Felix cannot dance, but because of Christmas, he is ready to shake his hands. We are going to do the dance with Felix. Let's go. Ade, Siriba. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Wuti, wosutio, ba ba ba. Wosutio, ba ba ba. Wosutio, ba 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 ba. What's up? Wosonso, ba ba ba. Wosonso, ba ba ba. Wosonso, ba 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 ba. Wonai, wosonayo, ba ba ba. Wosonayo, ba ba ba. Wosonayo, ba 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 ba. Uti, wosutio, ba ba ba. Wosutio, ba ba ba. Wosutio, ba 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 ba. Wonsa, wosonso, ba ba ba. Wosonso, ba ba ba.
Some discussions, yes, we will dive into NPP's delegates conference or whatever word you will use to describe what they did. I have here, yes, I believe that he's been very familiar, especially consistent, as you say. These 2 weeks now, at least, he's been here a couple of times. So maybe I don't need to mention his name, but to do himself the honors, I'm here with the communications member for NDC, Mr. Al-Hassan Ibn Abdallah. I didn't even have to check for his name. That tells you how consistent he's been. Mr. Abdallah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning to our viewers.
Good
And I love to add also that I'm the deputy youth organizer.
Deputy youth organizer.
For the Odio constituency.
Yeah. Or did you? I always have a problem mentioning that.
Yeah, but it's the sweetest name in Ghana.
I mean, you can form a song with it. We should put it in one of our rhymes. I think it will help the children with their vowel pronunciation. All right, so unfortunately, we do not have the NPP communications rep here, but he will join us later within the discussion to tell us his mind on one or two things that we'll discuss. So we will give him that opportunity. He will join via phone-in conversation. So keep your dial logged in here. We are here. We are here to do justice. And I know, looking at the way Mr. Abdallah is dressed, he's ready to speak. And he is as ready as I am. And I hope he's as ready, or you are as ready as we are right here. So whether it's your wachi or your beans, or someone is telling me we are in the Christmas season, so it's now jollof and chicken. Whatever it is, be prepared, because we are ready to discuss, to dissect and bisect and trisect everything to do with the NPP Congress. We'll start, but before that, I just want to know, while we read the newspaper this morning, I saw something about a do or die affair that is supposed to be a showdown in Little Tokyo. Big trouble, they say, in Little Tokyo, in Parliament today. Yes, in the Chronicle captured that all died be died today. Majority ready for real showdown with minority who appear to have ignored Otunfo's wise counsel. And we have the picture of the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, the minority leader, also the Honorable Osei Mensa Bones to the majority, and of course, the Speaker of Parliament. You have the pictures captured nicely here. That story is on page 3 as well. So, with all that has been said, majority is telling us there is going to be a showdown in Parliament today, and it really has to do with the e-levy. You want me to read a little on that, right? The latest zero tolerance mantra that has been adopted by the National Democratic Congress members of Parliament towards the passage of the electronic levy, which is expected to rake in close to 7 billion Ghana cedis for national development, is expected to be met with equal force by the majority side of the House as approval of the controversial levy goes down the wire today. So last week, Friday, the minority leader, Haruna Idrisu, thought the House was going to debate the issue and was ready to put up a strong resistance, insisting that Ghanaians must know what the MPs are saying about the levy, and that doing so during odd hours will not help the nation. Haruna insisted that the levy must be debated at the time Ghanaians would have the opportunity to listen to them. He insisted that his side will debate the issues and not vote for the passing of the levy. So I want to jump to, okay, it is however not clear what is motivating Haruna's side to assume that they will defeat the e-levy. However, the MP for Sagnarigu, Alhaji A.B.A. Fusaini, whose speeches are always, well, let me leave that is a perspective. He said, told Pan-Africa TV last week that their NDC political fortunes are tied to the e-levy and that they will use all legal means to stop it. Meanwhile, before Haruna's posture on the e-levy, the House had approved the Appropriations Bill 2021 for the 2022 fiscal year. The bill contains a summation of all estimates of government's planned expenditure for the fiscal year. So this is, so the major issue, what is the call for the showdown this morning in Parliament is centered on the e-levy. What is meant, what is e-levy is supposed to rake in, what the NDC is seeing against what the NPP is saying. So there is a showdown. I don't know if you are fully aware or if you are expecting this showdown. What is the NDC expecting today in Parliament?
I honestly am disappointed in the majority.
Okay.
I'm disappointed in the majority because they don't seem to learn. They have not. They've not learned anything from the experiences in the past. Who are they showing down with? With Ghanaians? Please, the e-levy has been rejected by Ghanaians, not only NDC minority.
Okay.
The civil society, even some members, some leading members of NPP reject the e-levy. So it is not a showdown.
Would you be able to tell us any?
Oh, but we heard from Jaswa Rukubrube,
okay,
Nyahuta Makulo, and some other leading members of NPP, who very recently, one leading member said it was a lazy way of raising funds. That was an NPP member, not NDC. But by the way, I don't even see this in a light of the politics of it.
All right.
I see it in a light of the nation's progressing. We all agree that we want to bring financial inclusion, bring everybody into banking. And so the mobile money system has worked very well when it comes to this agenda of including everybody. I think it started somewhere in Kenya with the M-Pesa and then brought to Ghana. We all see how it's moving. I think apart from mobile money, I don't see how you convince some people to walk into a bank, to open a bank account and deposit their money. But with mobile money, it is easy. If you want to tax the income of people, the last place to tackle is mobile money. Because when you do this, it is easy. We can easily coil back, and then all the gains we've made with financial inclusions will be lost.
That has actually been my fear. My fear is there is this saying. I don't always get it right, but I believe that the true sentiments behind will come out. That when the hunters learn to aim, better, the birds also learn to fly higher. So what I see with this actually is that I see people, it's like yakasa brains yayedi. That's what I'm seeing. I feel when I dialogue with people in the trustees, when I dialogue with people in the market, in my neighborhood, that is what I see concerning the e-levy. That they are quiet because they know they can make a decision. People are quiet because if you tell me you are going to tax this, mobile money is not something that I'm forced or I have no option. I don't have a way out when it comes to it. So if you tell me you are taxing 100 cedis, then either I withdraw or I just make sure that I put a limit on my spending. If I have to spend, if I owe you 300 cedis and you are in Takwa and I'm somewhere in Accra and you're asking me to send you the 300 cedis via mobile money, I'll pay you in bits.
Yeah.
I'll send you 50 Ghana cedis every day for 6 days.
And the dangerous part of this is that, the youth of Ghana is just about getting used to this system. Because of mobile money system, almost like majority of young graduates, university students are now also in e-commerce.
Yes.
Because it's easy to sell online. So I put a photo of a shoe in on my WhatsApp status. If you are interested, I parcel it, send it to you, and then you send me the money on mobile money. Simple. And it's trying. We are about picking this up and making our lives easier with it.
Talk about the number of people who are employed because of this as well.
Unfortunately, the government is bent on reversing all these progress that we've made. And let me add that, look, even apart from the fact that it will affect the financial inclusion agenda of Ghana, it is highly unfair, to say the least, to tax people's mobile money. Because what are we taxing?
Exactly.
I think we tax either income or expenditure.
Yeah.
So, for example, I'll give you an example, excuse me, that will show how unfair this is. If I take my salary, income tax is already taken from it.
Okay.
So if I by mistake put my salary in my mobile money, then I've put it in a queue for another tax. Then let's say I walk into a shop and then I buy a television and a fridge, and then together maybe it costs 2,000 or 3,000 Ghana cedis. If I'm going to pay, excuse me, if I'm going to pay with my mobile money, remember that 2,000 cedis that I'm paying for the fridge, it includes indirect tax, which is VAT, VAT and NHIS. So I'm going to pay 2,000 cedis. That includes tax. If I happen to pay through mobile money, what it means is that I'm going to pay another 1.7% on the tax I will be paying. I don't know if I'm making sense. So this is so unfair, and just like you don't understand who exactly is thinking through this. And we were told before they came to power that they are competent. This is so basic to the extent that I'm wondering who is thinking through this, who is pushing this agenda, who is asking people to tax us for paying tax. Because, excuse me, assuming I am,
we'll get you water.
Yes.
Don't worry, it's coming.
Assuming I'm doing business, and then I file my taxes, and then I'm going to pay my taxes, and what I'm going to do is I want to do through bank transfer. Now I'm going to pay tax on the tax I'm coming to pay. Yes, because they will now deduct that 1.7 from my bank transfer. Assuming I'm an entrepreneur, I do business. At the end of the doing business, I make some profit, and then I choose that let me go to GRA and pay my tax. GRA has a mobile money system where they are encouraging individuals to pay tax. I decide to pay through that mobile money system. If my taxes go beyond 100 cedis, I will now pay tax, 1.7% tax on the tax I'm paying.
Taxing the tax.
Doesn't make sense. Assuming I send, let's say this morning I get a call from my hometown in Tamale that one of my uncles who are living in the same house just passed away, still in the hospital. Assuming they need 500 cedis to help them do something there, and then I send this 500 cedis. I will be paying 1.75% on that 500 cedis. What economic activity is it that I'm paying tax on? Let's say my capital is 10,000 Ghana cedis. I buy and sell. Excuse me. I'm a scrap dealer, so I buy scraps and then I sell. If a customer calls me and says, I have scrap worth 5,000, can you send it and come and take it and go and sell? That my capital of 10,000. If I send 5,000 of it to my customer to buy, I'm now coming to buy. Whether or not I'll make profit, I'm not sure yet. But that 5,000 I'm sending will be taxed 1.75%. That means the capital of 10,000 has been cut down. So our capitals are going to be taxed. Our remittances, everything. So let me be honest with you. If in an unlikely event that this tax comes into force, I will never send money again beyond 100 cedis. Never. What the government is simply telling us is that, look, mobile money is not for business. It's for sharing some small coins with friends.
I get that.
So then that's what we are about to do. Now, back to their showdown. Trust me, it's their own showdown. I started by saying that they've not learned anything, and that is disappointing. Because anytime they try to show down with the minority, they end up being the losers.
Oh, okay.
Yes. We saw that with the election of the speaker, and then we also saw that with the approval of the 2022 budget.
Okay.
So they should be advised that the showdown is not in their interest.
This is a case that we have even numbers, 137, 137.
Exactly.
With an independent who obviously
sides with them.
So obviously they are the majority. They are in the majority, and hence called the majority.
Well, the funny thing is that with the 137 of NDC, none of them is a minister of state, and so they are always in parliament. They work always in parliament. A lot of the 137 with the majority are ministers of state, and therefore they are engaged in other state duties outside parliament.
But just a second. Just the same way that, in the same way that we were able to witness the majority being, coming from wherever they were. I mean, whether in the north, in the south, wherever, even was the North Pole, we saw all of them gather in. They came. They were there. They were present on that Tuesday. I hope I have that right. Whether it was Tuesday, yes, that Tuesday. I believe the same thing can be done on that day. Well, I mean today for that show, because they said they were ready for the showdown. They are the ones calling it a showdown.
I was making a point.
Yes,
Parliament will not end today. Our democracy will not end today. Akufo-Addo's government is not coming to an end today. They can do whatever showdown they want, but they are the ultimate losers because they are ruling the country, and they need the minorities' input. I think by now, as a government, if they were responsible, by now they should be talking about building consensus and not showdowns. Right. At this point, we more need consensus than showing down on each other. Trust me, they will be the ultimate losers as we speak. Well, unless they want to go to hospital beds, they might not be able to bring everybody to Parliament today. Because some of their members we know are very seriously sick. We pray for them to get better. Of course, we know this for a fact. In fact, the last week, one of their members was supposed to appear in court and testify in a defamation case that's going on with Anas Army Anas. But they had to pray for it to be adjourned because the person cannot move to the hospital. This public information. So if they want a showdown, they will be the ultimate losers.
Is NDC ready if there should be a showdown?
NDC MPs, I have to say that the minority led by Haruna Idrisu Honorable have been doing very well, and we appreciate it. They are almost always ready. No matter what time, they are always ready. We are very proud of them. We look forward to them doing better. But we are not going to do any showdown that will not be in the interest of the ordinary Ghanaian.
You just took my next question right out from my mouth. Our Hassan Ibn Abdallah. You just, because I was about to ask you if this showdown lies in the interest of the Ghanaians. I mean, what should be the agenda of all of this?
For the NDC and the minority, the showdown is simply this. The e-levy is highly retrogressive. It will send us back in terms of our financial inclusion agenda. It will be highly unfair on the ordinary Ghanaian. It's going to tax the poor more. In fact, it is the poor who use mobile money. The rich guys are dealing with personal bankers, and so therefore they have no business in mobile money. They just sit there and call the bank, and then the bank run errands for them. So this e-levy is going to affect the poor and the ordinary Ghanaian more, and therefore the NDC stand, which is zero tolerance for the e-levy, will continue to hold. They referred to the Otumfuo. With all due respect, I don't know what the Otumfuo said that excites them that much, but I think the Otumfuo was just advising Ghanaians that we should do things in the interest of the state. We should not try to promulgate policies for the government. We should allow the government to bring their policies, but we should also hold them accountable for their policies.
Yes,
and that is part of holding them accountable. I don't think the Otumfuo said anything wrong, and I don't know how they understood this. Again, they said they are competent, and sometimes when you listen to them, then you ask yourself, is that what competence means? If that's what it means, then I don't want to be competent. Oh, trust me.
Okay, all right. I do get you on this, and I think that when it comes to the e-levy, we really, and I think all policies, we really have to listen to the citizenry, the Ghanaian, listen to them, listen to what their concerns, because let me say that no matter how uneducated, even some, or illiterate, you think any particular Ghanaian or what may be, their needs should be the concern of the leaders. And when it comes to e-levy, we all have our issues. Trust me, I have really, and then when it comes with the e-levy still, I think I've just chanced about 2 or 3 people who sided with the e-levy. That is on a personal encounter. Even with them, when you ask them why they side with it,
there are political reasons. Now, let me tell you, one big reason why every Ghanaian should reject the e-levy, no matter your political affiliation. If you go into the budget, they are claiming that this e-levy is supposed to be used to do what they call youth start projects, where they will support young people to start their own businesses.
Okay.
But before they do that, over 2 billion of money from the e-levy has already been allocated for a certain company that we don't know yet to be the one collecting the e-levy for government. Who is that company? 2 billion. Do you know how much, what 2 billion can do? Meanwhile, there's already the telcos. They have their own charges and they are collecting it without any middleman. Why do we need a middleman? The telcos are already paying some taxes to the state. Yeah. Why do we need a middleman this time to collect these taxes for us? Is that another avenue that the MPP is working hard to extort money from the ordinary Ghanaian? They want us to pay 1.7% on every transaction we do on mobile money. What kind of wickedness is that? Assuming I'm about to send 5,000 Ghana cedis, 1.7% will amount to 1.75% will amount to over 75 cedis.
Okay.
This money, if the money, the person I'm sending it to is within Accra, why would I send it? I just use maybe 40 cedi to get taxi and go back and go to that person and pay the money and come back home. This is highly, highly retrogressive. Okay. And they are bent on doing this not for the ordinary Ghanaian, but for a business they have already created and working hard to use that business to do the collection for them at a fee which they have already allocated to that business.
Okay, all right. So I just want us to move away from the e-levy. I think, but remember that the NPP communications rep will join us later, and I will give him the chance to speak on this particular issue, the e-levy, which is at the heart of every Ghanaian right now. We want to look at what the majority leader had to say, especially during their delegates conference. He says allow incumbent NPP MPs to contest 2024 elections unopposed. The majority leader Oseiche Mensah Bonsu has proposed that the new patriotic party allows its incumbent members of parliament to contest the 2023 primaries unopposed. And that's a worry for some of us. The question is, what if these people are not working? What I mean by working, what if they are not doing what they are supposed to do as MPs? What if they are slacking in their job? We just allow them to go through, to go on. I don't know what you want to say.
The majority leader has been saying this for some time now. I think last 4 years I heard him speak about the same thing in Cape Coast. And whenever he mentions it, sometimes I feel, well, that's MPP's cup of tea. Why is it my problem? But other times, I think carefully and I said, this thing is a very bad thing that must not be encouraged. Because we are in the political environment. Yes. In case it is encouraged in MPP, maybe tomorrow my party too might think of doing the same thing. But the point is that the members of parliament are elected members. Therefore, they are supposed to be accountable to the people. The only way we hold them accountable is through elections. Yeah. So if his party members cannot hold him accountable, then the whole constituency cannot also hold him accountable. And the MPP has grown so autocratic to the extent that everything democracy, they find it difficult to accept. And I'll give you examples. In the 2020 elections, observe what happened in their strongholds. they disqualified candidates. They forced candidates on the electorates. In fact, the reason why we had one independent member of parliament from one of their strongholds, who was their member of parliament before he became independent, was this problem, where they just go there, instead of allowing the democratic processes to select candidates for them, they go there with that arrogance, and then they push out contestants and impose candidates on each other. A clear example was a constituency in the northern region called the Gushegu constituency, where when they realized that their preferred candidate will not win, they just put a hold to the primaries. The primaries was pending until few days to nominations to the general elections. They just brought Hassan Tampuli from NPA to impose him on the people. And then they started like sharing money, everything, as if the election was a do or die affair. And in the end, yes, they were able to procure the election by whatever means, because as I sit here, I don't believe the results of that constituency was fair.
Okay.
But that's my view.
Yes.
That's it. And then I look at other constituencies. In fact, in some constituencies, they literally had to deploy the military to just go and kill civilians and declare the results for their preferred candidate. In a constituency like Zabzugu constituency, for example, during the process of collation of results, they just send the military, whisk away the electoral officer to Tamale, the regional capital. They moved him from the constituency to the regional capital. And in the presence of only 4 people, he went there and declared a results handwritten by the regional secretary of MPP to him. He declared it, and then that was it. As we speak, the ballot boxes and the collation sheets of Zabzugu constituency is still at the Electoral Commission at the constituency, but the election was declared at Tamale.
Okay.
So they are not friends of democracy. And this is just one example of it. Watch what happened yesterday. They called for an annual delegates conference to amend their constitution. By the way, in fact, the MPP's constitution is one of the most confusing constitutions I've ever seen in my life. You know, we believe that
I really like it that when you bring up some of these things, you use the personal pronouns, the my, I like it. And so whenever I hear it, I give you the stamp, okay. I say the okay because it is a perspective.
You know, in the arena of communication, you guide what you say.
Yes. So he's
just
being
so
very,
you'll be
very
able to stand by it.
with his words.
I mean every word I say, so I have to make sure it is mine. You know, I
respect that.
One of the most confusing constitutions in the world is the MPP's constitution.
He's still standing by his word.
Where they put that when they are in power, the flag bearer should be elected 11 months to the next general election.
Okay.
And in the same constitution, they also state that when they are in power, the running mate should be appointed 12 months to the next general election. And you ask yourself, what kind of constitution is that? It's not practicable. This constitution, they met yesterday in Kumasi to amend.
Okay.
But when they met, because their leadership had an interest, and when they got to the grounds, they noticed that their interest will not come to pass if they truly want to do the democratic process.
Okay.
So they easily turn it to a John Mahama conference, where they call every speaker to talk about John Mahama, and then ended up by clapping for themselves, claiming that the MPP has built Ghana to the extent that, as we speak, Ghana is better than the UK and the US. Therefore, conference is over. They never amended their constitution. They didn't talk about why they went to the conference, because if they were going to talk about it, our delegates would have voted to amend the constitution. And that was not in their interest as their leaders. So therefore, they stopped it. So I'm not surprised their leader is calling for an autocratic process of selecting their parliamentary candidates, because they are not in any way for democracy. This has been the MPP, even they you know where they came from, the UP tradition through to this MPP. So I'm not surprised at all that the majority leader is calling it. But that's a very dangerous thing. I hope that cool heads in their party will speak against this and will make sure that this never happen. Because if it does, that will spell doom for MPP in the future.
All right. I hope I have Mr. Carl Apia on to speak with us on these particular issues that we've, or concerns that we have discussed earlier. But while we wait for him to join in the conversation, there's one more issue coming from the delegates conference that I want us to look at. The president touched on this. Well, everybody is saying it. We are in a difficult economic environment. That the country is hard. Times are hard. Well, the president had that to say that. Okay, so before we enter into that, good morning, Mr. Carl Apia. Good morning.
Good morning, and have a good morning. How's your morning going?
My morning is blessed. It's blessed as usual. Life comes from above, and so I look above all the time. I hope yours has been good as well.
It's been amazing.
We thank God.
And thank you so much for reaching out to me.
You're welcome, always there. And thank you for always responding to our call.
I understand how difficult it is to put a program together. And so I always try to do my best to make sure that your effort does not go in vain.
Thank you. Your efforts are very much appreciated.
You're doing an amazing job, and we're grateful.
Thank you very much, sir. This morning, I don't know if you've been listening in to us, but we have been talking, first of all, about the showdown that the majority is calling for, the showdown in Parliament today, especially with our focus on the e-levy. And I don't know if you've listened to us, then you probably heard the side of Mr. Abdallah. That's coming from he's the NDC communications rep and the deputy youth, not regional, deputy youth organizer for the Ododo constituency. I hope you have been listening and heard his side. What would be your take on that? The showdown, is the NPP ready for a showdown, and what would that showdown mean in Parliament? What do we have to expect?
First of all, I want to say a very good morning to the cherished viewers of Adoatv, and to you yourself and your hard-working team for making sure that Ghanaians are informed, for making sure that Ghanaians are educated, and also for making sure that Ghanaians are entertained. God bless you so much for the effort you're putting in.
Amen.
And again, to address the points my brother is making, last time when you gave me the opportunity to discuss the issue of the budget, I said that whenever a budget is prepared, it is not a budget for an NPP or a budget for the NDC. It is a budget that is supposed to advance the cause of the people of Ghana. And for that matter, if anybody feels that they can hold the nation to ransom because a certain political party is in power, then that is unfortunate. Anybody who is promising a showdown does not understand the tenets of governance. And for that matter, I would pardon him or her. There's not going to be a showdown. Anybody who is in Parliament is not in Parliament to represent himself or a political party. He or she is in Parliament to represent his constituents and to represent the good people of Ghana. So at this point and at this juncture, the question we are asking ourselves is that whatever is supposed to be done in Parliament is supposed to be done in the good interest of the people of Ghana. So let's ask ourselves, is the showdown what the people of Ghana are looking for? I think the answer is a certainly no. The people of Ghana are looking for discussion on issues that will lessen the burden on everybody. You know, with COVID, a lot of things are happening across the globe. And for that matter, it is not going to be a showdown. And I think that the Honorable Minority Leader made a categorical statement. And I think that the NDC better be taking a cue from him. He said that prior to the discussion on the e-levy, he had taken an entrenched position of a no, 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 no. But after listening to good counsel from the finance minister, after listening to the deputy finance minister, Honorable Edubuahin, and a few other people, his position on the e-levy has changed. And what he is suggesting is that the e-levy should rather be reduced downwards to about 1%. Yeah. So that is the discussion we should be having. He said he knows that he's going to have a difficulty explaining the e-levy to his constituents, but he feels that Ghana must go on. We must think of physical consolidation. And that is the discussion we should be having. That at the end of the day, whatever discussion we are having should inure to the benefit of the good people of Ghana. So there would be a showdown, but we are going to Parliament to let the people of Ghana know that we are in Parliament to represent their interests and not the interests of any individual or the interests of any political party.
That is well said, sir. Actually, what I was referring to is coming from the Chronicle newspaper, and it says, majority ready for real showdown with minority who appear to have ignored Otumfuo's wise counsel. So it is not Mr. Hassan here who is calling for a showdown, or the NDC that is calling for a showdown, or the majority for that matter. It was actually a caption that we took up and then we were expanding on. But
yeah, but I think that whatever the caption is coming from what the discussions that they have had from those on the minority side. That of course they are going to make sure that we put every item in the budget to vote, and they are going to hold us to everything. Do you understand? So the bottom line is that it is what they have gathered from people that is what is informing the headline. And so I think that is the mindset of the NDC. And that is a bit very unfortunate.
Just because of what you said, Mr. Abdallah wants to respond to that.
You know, what the Chronicle is actually reporting what Majority Leader said yesterday. Majority Leader said there will be a showdown today. In fact, I heard him myself at the conference. He was interviewed by the media, and he said there will be a showdown today. And we don't want any showdown. We want to tell Ghanaians that we will never support any levy that will bring more hardship on Ghanaians. That's simple. There's nothing showdown about it. It's the Majority Leader who is calling for a showdown, not the minority.
Okay, so that is what I wanted him to chip in, because I didn't hear that part myself. So I wanted him to chip in that. So yes, the showdown is being called by and just as it has been captured here, majority ready for real showdown with minority who appear to have ignored the Otumfuo's wise counsel. That is what it said. So I didn't want us to be mistaken about who said what. That's why I had to cut in. But I don't know, what would be your expectations today in terms of what is supposed to happen in Parliament?
I think that, Mr. Abdallah, I thank you for your statement. I think that is the way we should go. We shouldn't be looking for a showdown anywhere. We have been elected to serve the good people of Ghana. And therefore, when we are going into Parliament, what should be at the back of our mind is what is in the interest of the good people of Ghana. And therefore, going into Parliament today, I'm expecting that both the people on the majority side and those the MPs on the minority side are going to take good counsel from what His Eminence Otu for or said to two said. That their people, they have been voted to go to Parliament to go and make policies that will inure to the benefit of the good people of Ghana. And for that matter, whatever they are going to discuss today should be in the interest of Ghana. And therefore, the interest of Ghana is what I'm going to look out for.
Okay, so should should whatever precedes, or I mean whatever happens in Parliament today, actually be that the e-levy will be scrapped off because it is not in the interest of Ghana? Would that also satisfy you? Would that be true?
I think that there is a misconception about what really the e-levy is.
Help us with that misconception.
Exactly. I think the last time you gave me the opportunity, I tried to expatiate on the e-levy.
Yes, sir.
The e-levy is not just about taxing MOMO or mobile money transactions, as it has been misconstrued by the people, some people who want to do mischief. And I don't want to say it's on the minority side though. But the bottom line is that the e-levy is a three-legged levy. We are talking about inward remittances, we are talking about financial transactions, and then we are talking about the electronic mobile money transactions. Okay. Do you understand?
Yes.
So these are the three. So if anybody decides to segregate them and just pick the mobile money transactions and work with it and say we don't want a MOMO tax, we don't want the MOMO tax, then that is the service. And so, I think Mr. that I will.
Please do well, because it is the MOMO tax that we are all very familiar with. Help us with the other two legs you were talking about.
And that is why I'm saying that we have the inward remittances levy. That is the money that are being sent.
Break it down to my level, please.
Did you say your level?
To my level, yes.
I thought that your level was even higher than mine. Oh.
I sit in this stage for every viewer that is watching us. So my level is the level of all Ghanaians. So please break it down for us. Yes.
So basically, inward remittances is that there are people who are sending money into the country day in and day out. Government has decided, and after extensive consultation, decided that we should take a certain percentage of that money that is part of the e-levy, and then bank transactions.
Would that percentage, before you move on away from that, would that percentage be the same as the 1.75%?
Exactly. The e-levy is capped.
Yes.
And that is what we have listened to a certain section of people who are suggesting that, of course, they agree that for fiscal consolidation, that levy should be there, but they feel that the quantum should go down. Some people have suggested that we should peg it at 1%. Some people have suggested that it should be 1.5%. Do you understand?
So, I understand.
So basically, that is it.
Yes. Still on the second part you were talking about, you're saying that the 1.75 also affects all transactions that is going in or out of the country. Is that what you're saying?
No, inward, coming into the country.
So that is, so if my uncle decides to help me out because I'm unemployed and he's sending maybe $100 or euros or whichever currency, that money is also going to be taxed. Yes. That is what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Okay. Please go on. If that sums up the second one, then let's know the third one.
Yeah, so that's the inward remittances.
Okay.
And then we have the bank transaction taxes also, which also applies, which also would based on the conclusions we have, whether we're going to stay at the 1.75% or we're going to go down to 1% or 1.5%. So these are the three.
Yeah. So but because people... just hold on. That is why I'm trying to get the three legs. We have two now. The third one, you're saying bank transactions. Yeah. So that is why when, suppose, I'm just putting in these...
yeah, go on.
Yes, so suppose I have worked and my Adoatv is paying me for this month. they pay me through my bank, and they send the money to my bank, and I have connected my wallet, my Momo wallet, with my bank account. So in trying to, on my bank, sending my money from my account to my Momo wallet, there the charges also coming. That's what you are talking about.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay, so please give
not
me,
at all.
Please give me a very good example that will best explain that.
Okay, so banks offer services on behalf of companies.
Okay.
Banks offer services on behalf of institutions. The services that the bank are offering the companies, that is what is taxable. So, for example, if you are supposed to, okay, for example, you're doing a business that requires that you send money to your clients. Ordinarily, you may have to go and withdraw the money, put it in a sack, and travel to the north or go to wherever you want to go to and go and pay the money. Now the bank is doing that transaction on your behalf. So the service that the bank is offering you, that is what is taxable.
Okay, this is the same thing as I explained earlier.
Yeah.
So assuming I earn my income, and then I want to send 500 cedis of it to my brother who is in University of Ghana, so he can have his he can have some chop money.
Okay.
If I send it from my bank account to his bank account, they will deduct 1.75%. That's what he's explaining.
Mr. Pia, that is what you are explaining to us.
That is it.
Exactly. Okay. And that is not fair. That's what I was explaining earlier of assuming I want to pay my tax to GRA. I send it from my bank account to GRA's bank account. They will deduct tax on the tax I'm paying. That is so highly unfair.
No. That is not true.
My brother, have you read the bill?
No, that is not true.
Have you read the bill?
If you are paying to GRA, how then do we tax you how do we tax you double?
Hold on with that. So you are still explaining. Let's go back to that. So with that, the three legs fully explained now. First, the Momo. I'm sending somebody money through my Momo account.
Yes.
The 1.7 affects it. The second.
Okay, but let's also take cognizance of the fact that if you are sending less than 100, if you are sending up to 100 cedis in a day, you are exempted from the tax. If you are sending more than
from 100 cedis, yes.
Exactly.
All right, so it starts from 100 cedis.
So people who are making the analysis that if you are sending 100 cedis to your mother, they are going to deduct 1.75%. It is wrong. If you are making a transaction of 100 cedis in a day, you are exempted from the tax.
How many people make just 100 cedis in a day? Please, mobile money has grown past 100 cedis a day.
I'm trying to understand. I thought it is 100 cedis is the benchmark. Oh, Mr. Pia, help me out.
Yes, if you are sending up to 100 cedis in a day, it is not tax. It is when you are sending above 100 cedis, that is where the tax applies.
Oh, okay. So if I'm sending exactly 100 cedis to somebody, I'm free. I'm exempted.
Yes, you're exempted.
But if I'm sending 105 cedis, then that is where I'll be taxed.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. I fully get you on that now. All right. So, so that being said, that is for the Momo. And then where I have somebody sending me money, you know, through, I mean, from outside into the country, to me personally here, then that money is also going to be taxed.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, where I'm also using.
Okay, let me quickly go back.
Okay.
To the Momo tax again.
All right.
Some people are saying that the sender pays 1.75% and the receiver pays 1.75%. That is wrong. It is only the sender who pays the 1.75%. The one receiving the money does not pay any tax on it. So that correction should also be made.
But when the one receiving the money also spends it on mobile money,
he also,
beyond 100 cedis, he will also pay the same tax.
No, please, let's limit our conversation to the sender and the receiver.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
So
once we go into the sender becoming the receiver and the receiver becoming a sender, then we are changing the discourse. We're changing the discourse entirely. So the sender is the payer of the tax. The receiver pays no taxes.
Okay. I understand you, and I understand I understand the Momo. So thank you for that clarification. That it's only from the sender's point of view, from the sender's end, that the 1.75 is going to be deducted. So
and let's also put in context that it is also possible that the 1.75% may be revised downwards. So as we speak now, the 1.75% is also the tentative value we're working with.
Are you proposing
it could
a
go
reduction?
Down. No, I'm saying that
because there has not been any
tentatively.
reduction in the bill that is going to be laid today.
But do you know that the finance minister had also written to Parliament suggesting that they want to look at a few things?
Yeah,
okay,
but
so,
he mentioned that the e-levy remains 1.75% in that same write-up.
So knowing very well that this is going to, or this particular issue is not over yet, I just wanted to explain the three legs that because you were saying that it's as if we are all just focused on the Momo tax, the Momo tax.
Exactly,
so
because.
So let's move away from there. Focusing on the other two is what I was just trying to make my viewers appreciate the other two that seems to have been forgotten, which is the bank to bank and then the inflows from outside. So that clearly spelled out, and that there is going to be, whether it's going to be a big show or a little show or a showdown, whatever it is, we'll continue to watch what happens in Parliament today. So moving away completely, because we have very, very little time, I want to hear what is your view on what the majority leader had to say concerning the MPs, incumbent MPs, not going through any form of election, just have to be kind of allowed to go on, allowed to just enter into, yes, without the proper election. Should I say proper? Well, without election or the due course, that which we know of. And then the last would also be, so I just want you to wrap that up completely for me, that indeed the economy is hard. What we have been saying, that the economy is hard, has been confirmed by our own president, that indeed the economy is hard, but that the takeaway is that he is not to blame, or the fault is not coming from his end. I want you to merge these two for me, if you can do it rather rapidly. We have just about 3 minutes more, so please.
Okay, first of all, I know that it's not everybody who has returned from Kumasi yet.
Okay.
But I want to congratulate the NPP on a successful delegate conference.
Okay.
And I hope you know that at the delegate conference, a lot of recommendations were made. Unfortunately, they were supposed to vote on the recommendations and accept them. But because they didn't have enough time, they have referred it back to the National Executive Committee for consideration and for acceptance, or for incorporation into our constitution. At no point in the recommendations did anything come up that the sitting MPs should go unopposed. And so I want to put on the record that the majority leader is a member of our party. He made his personal recommendations, but that is not the position of the party. The position of the party is that the NPP believe in democratic credentials. We believe that everything that must be done should be done democratically. And for that matter, the party will consider only the options that is better for the party. Nobody is going to go unopposed, as is being suggested. The party, everybody is going to go through the right channel to either be elected or selected, and then they can come and go through the election. So for that part, I think we should put that to rest.
That's very clear. That's very clear.
And
so let's look at the economic.
On the part of the president, I think that the president has made a very bold statement.
Yes.
And I am so proud that I am a member of the NPP. I want to quote something to you. This is from the Daily Express, UK.
Okay.
And this is a statement from the Bank of England. Bank of England warns price rises will bite even harder. And this is Bank of England warns that price rises will bite even harder. What this is suggesting is that it is not only in Ghana that things are hard. It is not only in Africa that things are tough. Every country is suffering from the effect of COVID.
Okay.
You know that even currently we have the Omicron with us.
Yes,
some countries have closed their borders.
Unfortunately, your time is ended. So
what the president said is decisive. Every country is suffering. Even the U.S. had to borrow as much as $3 trillion from their treasury just to be assured that the economy will be up and running. And therefore, the president has been decisive. I would have been disappointed if the president had said that everything is well and he has made Ghana a paradise, which certainly is not the case. We are all trying to make Ghana a better place, and the president certainly has not meant words with that.
It's certainly very good and nice to hear that finally the sentence has changed, that particular sentence, that you actually confirm and feel what the ordinary Ghanaian is. Mr. Abdallah, would you just in a matter, I think I'll give you a maximum of 45 seconds.
Oh,
wrap
but
up.
why? No. I've not got the opportunity.
And thank you, thank you so much, Mr. Carl, for your contributions this morning. It's very much appreciated.
See, the president's point. I've not got any opportunity to talk about it, and you give me just 40 seconds.
Yes. So I mean, don't protest, rather talk.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I mean. Don't use the time to protest.
So first of all, it is so disappointing to hear the president, the leader of Ghana, tell us that now he agrees with us that Ghana is hot. Baby, I shit. But it is not his fault.
I'm happy that he has come out because I've heard, and I've seen a lot of communications reps sit in this seat and tell us there isn't
any hardship. I agree. So in fact, they told us that it's only NDC members who feel the hardship. Now, President Akufo-Addo too is feeling the hardship. But what is disappointing in this is that he says it's not his fault. So tell me, whose fault is it? Is it my fault? We elected President Akufo-Addo because he told us that Ghana was hot and it was the fault of John Dramani Mahama. And he was better. He was competent. Therefore, we should bring him to replace John Dramani Mahama so that he will bring us, enjoyment as a country. Ghanaian electorates elected him. And now he is the president of Ghana. In fact, he has been the president of Ghana for 5 years. 5 good years. If whatever John Mahama was doing was bad, that it was bringing hardship, for 5 good years, if you are not able to turn it around, then John Mahama was 100% better. Let me tell you something. The hardship we are facing today is squarely laid at Akufo-Addo. It is his fault. Because, one, he is the one pushing all these bad policies through Parliament and then implementing it, and it is coming back to bite us. Let me tell you why there's hardship. You see, we are a developing country, and as a developing country, the majority are in the poor brackets. Now, Akufo-Addo's policies are targeted at enriching the rich more and impoverishing the poor more. Meanwhile, when you give money to the rich, it is not spent much in the market. Therefore, it is not felt by many people. So you find that the money will be hung up there. Let me give you an example. For example, if you give a poor man 10,000 cedis today, he will start thinking about buying a mattress. He start thinking about buying a television set. He start thinking about buying, buying all these things, a fan or maybe an air conditioner. Start thinking of improving his house, so he will buy cement. He will start thinking of eating jollof and chicken, so he will buy rice. He will buy chicken. Then, as opposed to give the same money to the rich man, well, the next thing you know, he will fly to Dubai and spend it with friends. So we will not feel the impact of that money. So what Akufo-Addo, the first wrong step Akufo-Addo took when he came to power, that I knew that we will suffer under Akufo-Addo, was that when he came, he removed taxes on flight tickets and put the same taxes on trotros. Because he said if you bring in a big car up to 2.5 liters, which is mostly Benz bars 207, which are used for trotro, and then toilet and garbage cars, he then put tax on them and removed these taxes from plane tickets, which people fly. And then he moved on. So this is why we are in hardship. Before Akufo-Addo came, John Mahama predicted that there might be something. So John Mahama already laid the foundation. John Mahama set up the Ghana Exim Bank to support Ghanaian business people to be able to deal with the dollar exchange rate issue, so that when they import, they can reduce the prices so that we can afford. When Akufo-Addo came, he stopped giving this money to the importers. Rather, he claimed he wants to use it to support 1D, 1F. Now listen to this funny thing. He now dish out money to already established factories in the name of helping them to expand so they can employ more people. But go to this 2022 budget and look at it. What is the impact of that investment? You will notice that from 2016, industry has been contributing less and less and less to the GDP. In 2016, industry was contributing 7.6, and as we speak, in 2020, industry is contributing 1.4, from 7.6 to 1.4. Meanwhile, they are claiming they are doing one district, one factory. Why is it not working? Majority of the so-called one district, one factories you see are already established factories. It existed before MPP came to power, and it belongs to rich people.
Can you cite anyone or two?
Oh, but we all know Casapreco was here before MPP came. Casapreco is their number one district, one factory they mention everywhere. We know Zoom Lion was here. They are now the refuse collection point that Zoom Lion built on the Mochi Road is now one district. 2 minutes. So these things that they do, they now bring the money, give it back to the rich, and then the rich man takes the money, either go and buy some equity and be making more profit, or go to Dubai and spend it. How is that money coming to the ordinary Ghanaian? Therefore, we will suffer. So it is Akufo-Addo who is bringing the hardship. Now, let me tell you one more thing within this short time. John Mahama already knew that as a country, one day, we will have some problems. So when Ghana started drilling oil, he came up with what they call Ghana Stabilization Levy. It is a tax on our petrol. And that money is saved just in case Ghana has an emergency, something that will shake our economy. You can go and bring that money and then use it. Do you know what Akufo-Addo did? When MPP came, when we recorded 2 cases of COVID, 2 cases, Akufo-Addo ran to Parliament and said, we are in an emergency, COVID-19 has come. Allow me to spend the money. And when they gave the money to him, it's a pity. When they gave the money to Akufo-Addo, he quickly came out, used it to run his campaign by sharing money to people in the name of COVID support and asking them for vote. And then that was it. The money is finished. And then you come back and tell us that the hardship is not coming from you. Who is it coming from? all our monies are with you. President Kufuor left us one oil well. It was giving us some money. But before John Mahama left, through John Mahama's investment, we got 2 more oil wells. And now we are getting times 2, like more than 200% more revenue from the oil. And all that money is given to Akufo-Addo. And we are in hardship and you say we shouldn't blame you. Then bring us the money so that we'll find somebody who can manage the hardship and give it to him. Do you understand?
Yes.
So this hardship is because Akufo-Addo is incompetent. Unfortunately, he said Dr. Bawumia is his economic whatever. Unfortunately, Dr. Bawumia is just another incompetent head.
A lot of unfortunately's in how we have to end today's show. Yes, business as usual, even though we are entering gradually small steps into Christmas. But yes, I'm not going away without doing the messages I see on Facebook from Positive Change Medina. He says, so the NPP held delegates conference to consider some amendments to their constitution, some of which include relooking at the dates for Congress and a change of name of the party. And all they had to tell us was John Mahama, John Mahama, John Mahama. In fact, John Mahama is the modern day Abubro Nkosia in Ghana's politics. Join the Medina Trade Fair and Christmas Carnival with Honorable MP lawyer Francis Sosu from 26th December. And Isaac Bonny says, interesting walk back. Is electronic mobile money taxed or not? I'm sorry, but why are we being gaslighted? Leadership is about taking responsibility and not passing the buck. And that is exactly what I would say about this. We let people into office because, of course, somebody has to be the leader. Leader means you are leading and we follow. So if we cannot blame our leader for our hard economic crisis, then what are we doing as a nation? Who do we have to blame? Yes, we would always blame ourselves, and sometimes we also have to blame ourselves. Unfortunately, I have to say this, for who is also leading, because we do have a choice in who leads us. So economic hardship, I'm facing it, you are facing
yourself.
it. So
because the sweet words they brought to you was
this is how we
good
have to
ignore.
wrap up.
So that's
I understand, Mr. Abdallah. And I have to say thank you to you, Mr. Abdallah, for your inclusion. Without you, our guest, Mr. Kao Apia, who also joined in by phone, this, of course, would have been a boring one. It would have been me sitting here and pouring my heart out to you. So thank you for honoring our invitation. Thank you, our viewers, of course, those who also had a lot to say. You brought in your views by Facebook and through the WhatsApp. Unfortunately, I didn't have the WhatsApp, the tab with me, so I couldn't have brought you. Forgive me for that. But remember, we said from the AM Ghana team, this Christmas is about giving. Wherever you are, give. We know that it is hard, but give from your surplus, give from your little, your time, even your words. Someone somewhere will appreciate you one day for it. So meet us here 6:30 with the news tomorrow, Tuesday, and it's business as usual with a touch of Christmas. We are delighted to have brought you this. Goodbye.